Okay, so the first one says, what is the area of the triangle? The equation for area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. And some of the examples we did as a class, we were like counting squares, but you can't see the squares because they aren't on the grid. So the way you could figure out the base and height, so this we're going to use as a base, and then the height has to be perpendicular height from the top to the bottom. This base right here, we can actually use the coordinates. So this x coordinate, so -6, this is at -6, and this is at 3. And the distance between -6 and 3 would be 9 units. So the base is 9. And then for the height, we're going to use coordinates as well. So the y coordinate now, this is at like 2. We can see that it's 2 right here. And then this here would be at 6. So the distance between 2 and the y-coordinate -6 would be 8 units. So the height is 8. And then we can plug these into our equation. Area equals 1/2. The base is 9. The height is 8. And area equals 36 units squared. Okay, the next one, what is the area of the parallelogram? The equation for parallelogram is base times height. You could use this as the base and find the length of that side, or you could just use this as the base. And I'm going to prefer to use this because it's just a vertical line. So I could either count units, or if they don't show me units to count, I can use the coordinates. So the distance here of this side, so we're looking at the y coordinate now. So it's at -2 to -8 would be 6 units. So from -2 to -8, that's 6 units there. And if you'll notice, it wouldn't make any sense to compare the x's because they're both at -5. So it was easy to choose the y coordinates. And then for the height is perpendicular height. So like right here, this distance. So now I can look at the x values. So I'm going to look at the x value here is at -5, and this x value is at 3. So from -5 to 3 is 8 units. So the height is 8. And then area equals base times height, so just 6 times 8. The next question, you have a rectangle here. It says find the perimeter and area of the rectangle using these points. Staying cutesy. Stay. Okay. So we get the door. Okay. Here's the points. To find the area, it's length times width of a rectangle, right? So we need the distance here, and it's kind of hard to see depending on which copy you have. Again, my printer doesn't print very dark, but here there are 4 units. You could either count that, or you could use the coordinates. Like this is at -3, 0, and this coordinate is at 1, 0. So there's 4 units in between -3 and 1. And then this here, you could either count it or use the coordinates. It's 5. This would then be 4, and this is 5. So for area, we just do length times width. So like 4 times 5, and we get 20 units squared. And then for perimeter, you just add all those up. 4 plus 5 plus 4 plus 5. And that would be 18 units. I was looking at the benchmark review. They just sent us out some more resources that we'll be using next week. And one of the things on it was like the perimeter, but then they said that you were fencing a yard or something, and each unit of like the plane equals like 10 yards or something like that. And they want to know how many yards of fence you're going to need. So all you would do is take like the perimeter 18 units and then multiply by 10 yards per unit, and then you could figure out how much fence you need. So there might be like one more step when you see it on a benchmark, and that would be the one more step. Okay, then next one. Find the perimeter of the parallelogram with these vertices. Can somebody get the door again? No, sorry. Okay. Find the perimeter of this. So this length right here, I would count the unit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can count the units there, and on a parallelogram, opposite sides are equal. So this would be 7 as well. I need the length of this, and I can't just count units because it's on a diagonal. So I'm going to use Pythagorean theorem to figure out that length, just sketching out a right triangle. This would be 1, 2, 3, 4 units by 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 units. And then we get 4 squared plus 9 squared equals c squared to find this length. We get 97 equals c squared, square root. So c equals square root of 97. So that's this length here, which would also be this length here. I don't have to solve it twice. And then perimeter would be adding all this up. It says to give an exact answer, not in a decimal approximation. So when I go to add this up, I got this going on. Not very pretty, but I can combine this. I can't simplify those. They don't have any like perfect squares in there. So I'm just gonna say 2 square root of 97. And that's the answer that you would type in the box for this one, Alex. The other shape that might throw you off would be a trapezoid. But there is an equation for trapezoid on the reference sheet. So that's the equation for trapezoid, if you need it. Okay, I'm gonna end this.